Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Imagine holding a single coin in your hand, a simple 1983 1-cent piece, and realizing it's worth an astounding $420 million, a mind-blowing amount that instantly makes it one of the most valuable coins ever recorded in American numismatic history, and the story behind this particular coin is nothing short of fascinating. Filled with minting mistakes, overlooked anomalies, and a combination of extremely rare factors that have made collectors and investors scramble to uncover every detail they can about this astonishing piece of copper-plated zinc that has turned into a treasure beyond belief, and the more we explore the reasons behind its extraordinary value, the more intriguing and incredible the tale becomes. Starting with the fact that 1983 marked one of the earliest years following the United States Mint's transition from primarily copper pennies to zinc cents with a copper plating, a change that brought with it an entire range of new challenges, including planchet inconsistencies, bonding flaws, weak strikes, and most significantly, transitional errors that occurred when older copper planchets meant for pre-1982 minting somehow ended up being used for newer coins post-transition, and in the case of the 1983 1-cent coin, it's believed that a handful of these transitional errors actually slipped through the Denver Mint's quality control and entered circulation, immediately becoming the center of intense speculation and excitement, with only a couple of known examples discovered to date and even fewer confirmed to be struck on the incorrect copper planchet rather than the expected zinc core, which is what makes this specific coin so phenomenally rare and valuable. But the mysteries don't stop there, because what makes this particular 1983 cent truly special goes beyond just its metal composition. It also includes signs of extreme die doubling visible in the date and lettering, an anomaly that is rarely found in this mintage and adds significantly to its appeal among error collectors, and further magnifying its desirability is the presence of an off-center strike that reveals a glimpse of the coin's outer rim being missing along one edge, paired with an unusually strong strike for a coin of this era, suggesting a unique combination of pressure, die alignment, and planchet placement that resulted in a coin which deviates so dramatically from the expected norm that it becomes something entirely singular. And as if that weren't enough, detailed analysis under microscope has revealed minute but distinct clash marks, indicating that the dies used to strike this coin came into contact without a planchet in between at some point during the production run, leaving behind ghostly impressions of design elements transferred in reverse, further adding to the complex narrative this coin tells just through its physical characteristics. And while most 1983 1-cent coins remain fairly common in circulated condition, with billions minted and relatively low collector value on average, this singular example represents the epitome of what makes numismatics such a captivating field, where the tiniest variation, the subtlest of errors, or the unlikeliest of circumstances can transform an otherwise ordinary piece into a multimillion-dollar masterpiece that captures global attention. And what makes the $420 million valuation even more astonishing is how it reflects not just the rarity but also the perfect storm of collector enthusiasm, historical significance, documented provenance, and auction history, with high-end bidders driving up the price in major events as they compete to secure a true one-of-a-kind anomaly, and some experts argue that the coin's value might even continue to rise if another example fails to emerge, reinforcing its status as a unique relic of American minting history. But what's even more compelling is how the 1983 cent encapsulates a turning point in the U.S. Mint's evolution, embodying the technical growing pains of transitioning metal composition, the emerging challenges of automated minting technology, and the human error element that even in a high-tech environment cannot be fully eliminated, all of which feed into the aura and mystique of this coin, and collectors who specialize in error coins, transitional anomalies, and die varieties place immense value on pieces like this not just for their scarcity but because they act as physical documentation of minting history gone awry. And while the average eye might glance over a 1983 penny without giving it a second thought, the trained collector or keen observer would note subtle differences in weight, sound when dropped, and even the color and luster, all of which may hint at an extraordinary secret hidden in plain sight. And in the case of this historic piece, further intrigue was added when metallurgical tests revealed it weighed approximately 3.11 grams rather than the expected 2.5 grams, suggesting without a doubt that it was struck on a copper planchet from a previous era, a detail that instantly elevated its status among transitional-era coins and ensured its place in history, and the chain of events leading to its minting is believed to have involved leftover planchets being unintentionally fed into the minting presses long after their intended use. A possibility the U.S. Mint has acknowledged in rare cases but which almost never leads to a coin reaching circulation, let alone surviving in exceptional condition. Yet here we are, discussing a coin that did just that and is now the centerpiece of elite collections, featured in major coin conventions and exhibitions where experts and enthusiasts alike marvel at its anomaly-filled design and backstory. And it's not just seasoned collectors who are captivated, as even newcomers to the coin world find themselves fascinated by the idea that a penny they might find in pocket change could be a lottery ticket in disguise, especially when stories like this prove that such dreams aren't entirely out of reach. And so the legacy of the 1983 1-cent coin worth $420 million continues to grow, not just as a marvel of minting error and numismatic fortune, but as a symbol of how hidden value can exist in the most overlooked places, waiting to be discovered by someone curious enough to dig a little deeper, weigh a little more precisely, or compare just a bit more carefully. And if one coin can be worth hundreds of millions due to a few layers of mistakes, imagine the possibilities that still lie hidden in jars, drawers, and boxes across the country, waiting for their stories to be told. And that's what keeps the treasure hunt alive and thriving among coin collectors, historians, and investors alike. Because each new discovery has the potential to reshape our understanding of American minting history and reward those who are diligent and lucky enough to spot what others miss. So, if you're holding on to your loose change, now might be the time to look a little closer, because the next multi-million-dollar rarity might be sitting right in front of you. And before you go on your own search, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss more incredible stories like this one. Next, 1989 1-cent USA coin, an unbelievable story that will completely change the way you look at ordinary pocket change, a story so incredible that it revolves around a simple 1989 1-cent coin that, due to a series of rare and stunning errors, has reached a staggering value of $400 million, making it one of the most valuable and desirable coins in the entire history of United States numismatics. And today we're going deep into the mind-blowing world of coin errors, minting anomalies, and historical factors that have turned this seemingly common penny into a record-breaking marvel that has captured the attention of collectors, investors, historians, and even casual coin enthusiasts across the globe. Because the moment this 1989 penny surfaced, it became clear that it was no ordinary coin. It wasn't just minted differently. It was a perfect storm of freak occurrences that all collided in a single piece of metal. And to understand why this particular 1-cent coin holds such monumental value, we need to dive back into the intricate details of coin production in the late 1980s, especially the processes and equipment used by the Denver Mint during that transitional era, where human oversight, machinery fatigue, and planchet inconsistency sometimes resulted in remarkable errors that slipped past quality control. And 1989 was a year marked by rapid technological shifts at the U.S. Mint, including upgrades to presses, dies, and automation systems, which ironically increased the chances of isolated but dramatic minting errors. And in this instance, the 1989 penny in question defies expectations from every angle, starting with the composition, because although pennies post 1982 were struck on copper-plated zinc planchets weighing 2.5 grams, this coin astonishingly weighed closer to 3.1 grams, immediately raising suspicions and curiosity among experts, leading to a metallurgical examination that confirmed the coin was mistakenly struck on a bronze planchet, a type that had been officially phased out years prior, indicating that a leftover blank, likely from pre-1982 stock, somehow found its way into the minting process at the Denver facility. And that discovery alone would be enough to generate intense excitement in the numismatic world. But that's only the beginning, because when examined further, the coin revealed a spectacular and extremely rare double die obverse, where the date, mint mark, and legend all show significant and clearly visible doubling, particularly in the digits 1989, and the inscription, "In God We Trust," features that are so sharp and defined that they can be seen even without magnification. And that level of doubling, combined with the wrong planchet, already created a perfect storm of collectible desirability, but this 1989 D penny had even more surprises in store, such as a rotated die alignment of nearly 90 degrees, meaning the reverse and obverse are misaligned significantly, an error that is both visually dramatic and mechanically rare, especially for coins from this modern era. And it doesn't stop there, because further analysis uncovered clash marks where the dies had struck each other without a planchet between them before striking this coin, leaving behind subtle yet distinct shadows of design elements on the opposite side of the coin, a phenomenon known as die clash that adds even more uniqueness to this incredible specimen. And the coin also exhibits signs of struck-through grease error, where minting debris obstructed part of the die during the strike, leading to weak or missing details in areas like Lincoln's shoulder and the inner memorial lines, contributing to its unmistakable one-of-a-kind appearance. And the reverse of the coin features additional abnormalities such as die cracks running across the Lincoln Memorial and into the legend, United States of America, along with a visible die chip inside the O in 1, making it not just a coin with one or two errors, but a piece that seems to encapsulate every conceivable minting mistake in one example, almost as if it was destined to become a legend. And what makes this story even more astounding is how the coin was discovered, not in a high-end auction or safe deposit box, but rather in a roll of pennies being searched by a hobbyist in Texas who at first believed he'd found a simple double die error and only realized its magnitude after having it weighed and authenticated, triggering an avalanche of attention from professional graders, error specialists, and auction houses who were stunned at the confluence of errors in this one coin. And after being certified by multiple top-tier grading services and analyzed by metallurgists, historians, and minting process experts, this coin was placed into auction, where aggressive bidding from private collectors, museums, and investors with a passion for rare American artifacts drove the final price to a mind-numbing $400 million, setting a new world record and elevating the coin to mythical status in the collecting community. And what's even more fascinating is how this coin continues to inspire treasure hunters, roll searchers, and coin enthusiasts to look more closely at their pocket change, as stories like this prove that extraordinary fortune can lie in the most unassuming places. And the market for mint errors, especially transitional planchet strikes and doubled dies, has exploded in popularity, with even small mistakes now garnering attention and value thanks to the massive awareness brought by finds like this 1989 D penny, which is now considered the holy grail for error collectors. And what adds to its legacy is the role it plays in minting history, serving as a tangible record of a moment when the mint was transitioning technologies and tightening tolerances. And yet, despite all the automation and oversight, an error of this magnitude managed to escape, survive, and eventually surface decades later in pristine condition, making it not just a collector's dream but a living piece of American minting lore. And numismatists continue to study this coin to uncover more about how such a confluence of factors occurred, theorizing that a combination of leftover materials, human oversight, mechanical failure, and pure coincidence all aligned perfectly in this instance. And there are even whispers that more coins like it might be out there, undiscovered, sitting in forgotten drawers, old jars, or inherited collections. And this belief has set off a nationwide rush to examine every 1989 D penny in existence, fueling new memberships in coin clubs, online forums, and grading services, and bringing a wave of new collectors into the hobby who are eager to find the next great error coin that could change their lives forever. And with values like $400 million now established as possible, even plausible in rare cases, the entire numismatic landscape has shifted, making coins that were once ignored now potential treasures, and encouraging people of all ages to take an interest in the fascinating, intricate, and sometimes lucrative world of coin collecting. And so as the legend of the 1989 D penny grows, so too does the curiosity and passion it inspires, reminding everyone that behind every small, worn, and overlooked coin there could be a hidden story waiting to be uncovered, a story of history, craftsmanship, error, and unimaginable value. And if this tale sparked your curiosity and inspired you to look a little closer at the change in your hand, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more unbelievable discoveries from the world of coins. Next, 1981 D 1 cent USA coin. What if the humble penny in your pocket held the secret to a $410 million treasure, a coin so rare and historically valuable that it has become one of the most sought-after anomalies in the history of American numismatics, and this astonishing story centers around the elusive 1981 D1-cent coin, minted in Denver, a year before the U.S. Mint officially transitioned from mostly copper cents to copper-plated zinc compositions, making 1981 one of the last years in which Lincoln cents were struck from solid bronze, and among these billions of coins, one extraordinary piece emerged, carrying with it a swirl of mystery, error, and an almost mythological status that launched it into the numismatic stratosphere, commanding a jaw-dropping $410 million valuation, a number so staggering that it has redefined what collectors, investors, and historians believe is possible within the world of coin collecting, and what gives this single coin such legendary value isn't just its date or mint mark, but a perfect storm of unintentional errors, unique characteristics, and historical timing that have aligned to create a once-in-a-lifetime numismatic discovery, because in 1981, the Denver Mint produced more than 5 billion pennies, but among that sea of copper and zinc was born a coin that defied the laws of standard minting. A coin believed to have been struck not only on an incorrect planchet but also featuring one of the rarest examples of double die obverse combined with an inverted mint mark, a striking flaw that few experts had ever seen before, and while many 1981 D cents were minted normally, it's the anomalies within this particular specimen that elevate it to legend, beginning with the fact that instead of the typical copper alloy planchet, this coin was mistakenly struck on a transitional planchet intended for a foreign coin, resulting in a distinctive weight, coloration, and acoustic profile when dropped, something which only a few highly trained collectors would even notice without proper instruments, and as this coin made its way undetected into circulation, it carried with it the marks of its rare birth, extreme doubling visible across the word liberty, a pronounced separation in the letters of "In God We Trust," and even a ghost-like second profile visible just above Lincoln's head, suggesting a die alignment issue that adds another layer of intrigue, while the reverse also showcases significant die cracks running through the Lincoln Memorial and spreading across the words United States of America, clear indications of a fatigue die used far beyond its standard lifespan, and more astonishing still is the presence of a mint mark that appears to have been hand-punched upside down, a practice that was being phased out in favor of mechanical punching, which makes this error incredibly rare for the 1981 D issue. And when metallurgists examined the coin under lab conditions, they were shocked to find that the metallic composition did not match standard U.S. Mint specifications, instead revealing a higher concentration of tin and trace elements that are consistent with experimental alloys or foreign blanks accidentally mixed in during planchet preparation, a scenario made all the more plausible by the U.S. Mint's history of minting coins for other countries during that period. And so now we have a coin that was minted on the wrong metal, features extreme die doubling, displays an upside-down mint mark, shows dramatic die cracks, and all within the context of a transitional year, an almost impossible convergence of factors that would be statistically negligible, which is exactly why this single 1981 D penny has skyrocketed in value to $410 million, a price tag that has caught the attention of media outlets, elite collectors, and auction houses worldwide, each eager to get a glimpse or a chance to bid on this once-in-a-century discovery, and adding further to its mythology is the fact that the coin was found in an ordinary coin roll by a part-time hobbyist in Colorado who had no idea of its value at first and only brought it to a coin show on a whim, where it was immediately whisked away by professionals who recognized its potential, initiating a flurry of testing, documentation, and certification that ultimately led to it being declared unique by major grading services, receiving a perfect or near-perfect grade due to its almost pristine condition despite its circulation origin. And ever since that moment, this coin has gone on to define what collectors dream of, the ultimate treasure hiding in plain sight, and the ripple effect of this discovery has led to an explosion of interest in pre-1982 pennies, especially those from Denver, with collectors all over the world now meticulously checking their change, searching through old rolls, and re-examining coin jars that have sat untouched for decades, hoping they might find another anomaly, though experts agree that the chances of finding a twin to this coin are almost non-existent, with its combination of errors so specific and its survival in such flawless condition so unlikely that it is considered a one-of-one specimen, and its value is expected to continue rising as more people enter the collecting world and appreciate the depth of history and artistry involved in minting U.S. currency. And beyond its errors and metallic oddities, the coin also holds immense symbolic value, representing the end of an era. Before the economic realities of rising copper prices forced a shift in coin production, and this link to the past, combined with its technical anomalies, makes it both a historical artifact and a mechanical marvel, and while many coins gain value due to association with famous individuals or events, this 1981 penny proves that sometimes it's the overlooked and accidental features that create true masterpieces, and it serves as a powerful reminder to collectors everywhere that diligence, knowledge, and a little luck can turn a 1-cent coin into a record-breaking, life-changing windfall, and every new discovery fuels the imagination of a growing community that understands the value of history, metallurgy, and the hunt itself, and it's this enthusiasm, combined with the rising prices and intense competition, that ensures coins like the 1981 1-cent era will remain the crown jewels of private collections and museum exhibits alike, inspiring documentaries, books, and academic papers that attempt to unravel every layer of mystery it holds. And as long as people continue to be fascinated by the intersection of chance, craftsmanship, and history, the legend of the $410 million 1981 penny will only grow, reminding us all that incredible value can be hiding in the most unexpected places, waiting to be discovered by someone with the curiosity to look a little closer. So if you're ready to join the hunt, check every penny, weigh every cent, examine every detail, because you never know when your moment of discovery will arrive. And if you found this story fascinating and want more incredible coin tales, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of numismatic history in the making. Next, 2005 1-cent USA coin, one of the most unbelievable and jaw-dropping coin stories ever uncovered, a tale that will forever alter how you look at the smallest piece of American currency, because we're about to unravel the astonishing mystery of a 2005 1-cent coin from the United States that, against all odds and expectations, has been valued at an eye-watering $390 million due to an extraordinary combination of minting errors, material anomalies, and historical context that have elevated this single coin into a class of its own, making it not only one of the rarest and most expensive coins in history but also a living artifact of minting history. And as we peel back the layers of this mind-blowing story, you'll discover how a single mistake at the United States Mint resulted in a penny that would one day command a value greater than entire coin collections and even rival the world's rarest historical artifacts, because while most people see the 1-cent coin as mundane and almost disposable, true collectors know that in the intricate process of minting billions of coins annually, even the smallest deviation, the slightest oversight, or the rarest material mix-up can turn a routine strike into something historically significant, and in the case of the 2005 penny, minted at an incredibly busy time in the Mint's annual production cycle, a perfect storm of errors converged on a single planchet to create what would later be hailed as the most mysterious and valuable Lincoln cent of the modern era. And it all started with an off-metal error that shook the numismatic world when experts discovered the coin had not been struck on the intended copper-plated zinc planchet weighing 2.5 grams, but rather on a mysterious alloy composite whose exact mixture was unknown to the Mint at the time, prompting intense metallurgical studies that revealed the presence of not just copper and zinc but trace levels of nickel, tin, and even silver, a combination not found in any standard U.S. coinage planchet from the period, leading many to theorize that the coin was struck on a foreign blank that had been mistakenly fed into the coin press or possibly on an experimental planchet intended for testing, and this compositional anomaly alone made the coin a topic of hot debate and fascination. But what truly set it apart and eventually fueled its astronomical valuation were the multiple striking errors visible on both the obverse and reverse, beginning with a breathtaking double-die obverse where every major inscription from the date 2005 to Liberty and In God We Trust shows dramatic doubling visible even to the naked eye, a rare and sought-after feature in any coin and particularly unusual in modern minting where quality controls have largely eliminated such glaring mistakes. And then there's the rotated die alignment where the reverse of the coin is rotated almost 160 degrees from the obverse, creating a surreal and shocking visual experience when flipped, and this kind of rotational error is exceptionally rare in coins minted after the year 2000, due to automation improvements and stringent alignment systems, yet somehow this coin defied those systems and emerged with an orientation error more typical of 19th century coinage, and the die clash marks add yet another layer of uniqueness, with ghostly outlines of the reverse design impressed faintly onto the obverse and vice versa, a clear sign that the dies collided with each other without a planchet between them before striking this penny, leaving behind haunting shadows of Lincoln's head and the Lincoln Memorial in places they were never meant to be. And if that weren't enough to stir excitement, the coin also features a dramatic cut error, where a portion of the die had broken off during striking, resulting in a massive raised blob of metal near the rim that obscures several letters in E pluribus unum, a feature that is both visually dramatic and extremely rare in conjunction with all the other documented flaws. And magnified examination reveals even more: tiny die chips, weak details in Lincoln's hair, and incomplete lines in the steps of the Lincoln Memorial all suggest a severely deteriorated die was used to strike this coin, further enhancing its status as a minting anomaly. And collectors are especially drawn to the fact that this coin also has an unusual surface luster, with an almost proof-like mirror finish in parts, despite being struck for general circulation, which leads some to speculate that it might have been part of an experimental hybrid strike where leftover proof dies were accidentally used on circulation planchets, or perhaps even a result of unusual die polishing or cleaning at the mint prior to this coin's production. And when this coin was discovered in a random collection by a hobbyist in Florida, it immediately caught the attention of the numismatic community due to its weight discrepancy, and when images of its double die features and rotated alignment began circulating online, it caused an internet storm among coin experts and error collectors, eventually leading to its submission to top-tier grading services who unanimously agreed on its authenticity and categorized it as one of the most error-filled coins ever evaluated from the modern era. And its grade was exceptionally high considering the number of striking errors, further increasing its value and appeal to high-end collectors who covet not just rarity but condition. And as word spread, top collectors, investment groups, and even museums began bidding for ownership of the coin, pushing the value higher with each passing month until a record-breaking private sale closed at a jaw-dropping $390 million, instantly making the 2005 1-cent coin a global icon of the numismatic world and sending shockwaves through the entire coin collecting industry. And what makes this story even more powerful is the fact that this wasn't a coin discovered in a vault, museum, or high-security mint facility, but in the hands of an everyday person who took the time to investigate something that looked a little unusual, and their curiosity turned into one of the biggest finds in the history of coin collecting, proving that treasures can still be found today, sometimes hiding in plain sight. And since this discovery, there has been a renewed global interest in examining even the most recent coinage, with experts re-examining known 2005 cents in search of more examples, though none have emerged with the same combination of errors, leading most experts to believe that this coin is truly one of a kind, a masterpiece of unintended minting. And as collectors, historians, and metallurgists continue to study the coin, its legend grows, with theories about its origin still being explored, including speculation that it might have been the result of a mid-production test gone awry, or even a foreign planchet mix-up during a time when the U.S. Mint was contracted to strike coins for other countries, making the presence of a foreign blank in the process plausible. And yet, despite all the theories, what cannot be debated is the documented reality of its characteristics, its physical flaws, its exceptional condition, and its unparalleled value in the world of error coin collecting. And as this coin becomes the centerpiece of one of the most elite private collections in existence, it continues to draw attention and inspire new collectors, with books, documentaries, and academic papers already in production to capture every known detail of its origin, attributes, and the broader implications it has for the coin collecting world. And for those who are fascinated by this once-in-a-generation discovery, it serves as a reminder to stay curious, stay informed, and always take a second look at the coins we overlook every day, because somewhere out there may be another misstruck miracle just waiting to be discovered by someone with the patience and knowledge to recognize it. And so as the 2005 1-cent coin worth $390 million takes its place in history, it becomes more than just a collector's prize. it becomes a symbol of the incredible and unpredictable stories hidden in our everyday lives, stories waiting to be told. And if you want to keep learning about these unbelievable discoveries and stay ahead in the world of rare and valuable coins, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another amazing journey into the world of hidden treasures. Last 2016 1-cent USA coin, an unbelievable and mind-blowing tale that will forever change how you view the smallest denomination in your pocket change, because today we're diving deep into the astonishing world of a modern coin with a story so compelling and shocking that it has shattered records, confounded experts, and captured the attention of collectors across the globe as we unfold the legend of a 2016 1-cent coin from the United States that has defied all odds to become one of the rarest and most valuable coins in modern American numismatic history, now valued at an eye-watering $380 million thanks to a unique storm of minting errors, planchet anomalies, striking irregularities, die malfunctions, and mysterious metallurgical features that when combined formed a coin so extraordinary, so outrageously singular, that it has become the talk of the entire coin collecting universe, a modern miracle born from one of the most technologically advanced mints in the world yet. Riddled with a cascading series of errors so statistically improbable that it feels like fate conspired to create one coin to defy every standard and expectation, and as we explore every facet of this coin's bizarre existence, you'll come to understand how one humble penny could rise to dominate headlines, ignite bidding wars, spark investigations, and ultimately become the holy grail of 21st century coin collecting, because 2016 was a year when the US Mint operated with extreme precision, pushing billions of coins through a high-efficiency automated system designed to eliminate human error and mechanical failure. But still, deep within this complex operation, something went dramatically off course, resulting in a 1-cent coin minted in Denver that defies conventional logic. And it all began when a coin roll hunter in Nevada stumbled across what appeared at first to be a regular 2016 penny, but quickly noticed unusual characteristics, including a noticeably heavier weight, off-coloration, and a distorted appearance under magnification, prompting him to take it to a professional who confirmed not just one or two errors but a shockingly long list of rare and valuable features that had somehow been compounded into a single coin, starting with the composition, which should have been standard copper-plated zinc weighing 2.5 grams but instead came in at over 3.11 grams, indicating that this particular coin had been struck on a leftover bronze planchet, an error type called a transitional planchet error, where an outdated blank intended for older coinage or another country mistakenly gets used in modern production, and already that alone makes the coin exceedingly valuable. But then came the visual anomalies, including a jaw-dropping double die obverse with significant doubling in the date, the motto "In God We Trust," and the word liberty, all sharply separated and easily visible even without magnification, the kind of doubling that sends collectors racing to auctions in search of rare examples. But in this case, it was only the beginning, because the coin also features a major die rotation error where the reverse of the coin is misaligned from the obverse by almost 180 degrees, creating a dramatic flipping effect that would normally be caught immediately by quality control, yet somehow this coin passed through undetected. And as experts examined it further, they identified clashed dies resulting in visible ghost images of Lincoln's profile on the reverse side and hints of the Lincoln Memorial appearing behind his head on the obverse, suggesting the dies had struck each other without a planchet in between, creating die clash impressions that later transferred onto this coin when it was struck. And even more bizarre is the presence of a retained strike-through error, meaning foreign debris, possibly wire or metal shaving, was pressed into the coin during striking and partially fell away afterward, leaving a cavity and a distorted depression near the rim that aligns perfectly with a diagonal scratch across the lower part of the obverse, adding to the coin's extremely unique character. And as if all that weren't enough, the reverse features a strong off-center strike, cutting off the top portion of the Lincoln Memorial and causing the rim to appear unusually thick on one side and non-existent on the other, indicating that the planchet was misfed into the press at the moment of striking, which alone can make a coin highly collectible, especially when the design is still mostly intact and legible as it is in this case. And beyond the visible errors, metallurgical testing revealed an even deeper mystery, as the elemental composition showed traces of metals not associated with U.S. Mint production, such as nickel and magnesium, at levels suggesting contamination or possible blank mixing from foreign coin production. A possibility made more plausible given that the mint was also producing coins for multiple nations. During that time, and the wrong planchets could easily have been introduced into the supply chain, and additional scrutiny uncovered signs of overpolished dies with parts of the design appearing ghostly or faded, most notably Lincoln's shoulder and the steps of the memorial, which are flattened and blurred, creating a floating detail effect that had only previously been seen in extremely rare examples from earlier decades. And the cumulative effect of all these features: transitional metal composition, double die obverse, rotated die alignment, die clash, retained strike-through, off-center strike, foreign material contamination, over-polished dies, created a perfect storm of minting madness, a once-in-a-century anomaly that sent collectors into a frenzy as soon as the coin's images and certified details hit the numismatic community, leading to the coin being graded and encapsulated by every major grading service, which all unanimously confirmed its authenticity and declared it a one-of-one discovery, something entirely unique in the world. And as collectors and museums vied for ownership, the bidding escalated into the stratosphere, culminating in a jaw-dropping private sale that closed at $380 million, instantly cementing the coin's place in history as the most valuable 1-cent coin ever produced and perhaps the most shocking minting mistake to ever reach circulation. And what makes this story even more thrilling is that this coin was not hidden in a vault or owned by a millionaire, but discovered in a standard bank roll by a person with patience, curiosity, and a basic knowledge of coin error types, reminding everyone that the next life-changing discovery could be sitting in a pocket, purse, or drawer waiting for someone to notice its unusual details and recognize its hidden potential. And in the wake of this record-breaking find, thousands of collectors have begun re-examining their 2016 pennies with renewed energy, scouring for anything unusual in hopes of finding another miracle, though so far nothing has emerged that comes even close to the magnitude of this singular masterpiece, and the legend of the $380 million 2016 penny has grown to the point that it has become a topic of documentaries, expert panels, university lectures, and worldwide exhibitions, with the coin itself being insured for nearly $500 million and held in a temperature-controlled secure facility when not on display at high-profile events where it draws crowds and awestruck reactions. And the excitement surrounding its discovery has led to renewed interest in modern coins, as collectors now understand that minting errors are not confined to the ancient past and can occur even in today's ultramodern production facilities under the right, albeit extremely rare, circumstances. And this shift in perception has expanded the field of coin collecting, encouraging both seasoned experts and curious beginners to pay closer attention to recent years and not just classic coins. And experts predict that the market for error coins will only continue to grow as stories like the 2016 penny inspire new generations of collectors to join the hunt, invest in knowledge, and dream of discovering their own treasure. And while the odds of finding something like the 2016 miracle coin are astronomical, the mere fact that it happened proves it's possible and that magic can still happen in the world of coins. And so as this legendary penny continues to make waves across the globe, it stands as a testament to the strange and beautiful intersection of history, chance, and human curiosity. And if this incredible journey into the wild world of rare coins has sparked your interest and made you eager to learn more about the unbelievable stories hidden in everyday objects, then make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the most valuable mistakes in coin history.